So what is the main idea of Petals of Land? One primary underlying theme in Petals of Land is the failure of the ruling Kenyan elite to adequately meet the needs of the people. After the new post-colonial government came to power, the leaders maintained their connection with the outgoing colonizers, thus marginalizing the everyman. That is called neo-colonialism. Kenya got independence in 1963, but after getting independence, many elite people of Kenya, they had been maintaining relation with the British government or the former colonial power. Okay, uh, that is the situation in Kenya. Okay, so a disturbing and passionately political book, Petals of the Blood, that also works as a thriller. The story begins after a fire in a brothel has killed three prominent corrupt African directors of the foreign-owned uh, brew- brewery, brew, brewery, brewer, or brewery, you can say, brewer in Ilmorong, a traditional village now transformed into a sprawling modern industrial town. So the novel started with incidents of a village. That village, traditional place, become a town for establishing the brewery, uh, brewery that is about this book, Petals of the Blood. At the conclusion of the text, it is revealed that Monira started the power at the brothel to stop Wanja in an effort to save Karega from her, and the act allows him to feel as though he has finally made a decision of his own, and he feels as though he finally belongs. Okay, so we see there are four characters previously we have said. Their name was Monira, Wanja, Karaga, and Abdullah. The four characters are there in this novel, the central characters. In Petals of the Blood, Ngugi relates two symbols of flowering and blood to processes observable in past independence Kenyan society, to processes. Actually, as I have said, that Ngugi was a symbolist, so he has used the symbol of flowers and blood in this novel, Battles of the Blood. A novel, in effect, deals with the revolutionary impulse nurtured by the blood of patriots and the flowering and the subsequent decline of these empires. Okay, so that means Kenya got independence with a hope and inspiration. That hope will be the petal of flowers. That means palpable things that after the independence, Kenya would be a new country, and its culture, its literature, its language, everything will be nurtured in such a way as a petal, as the petals of a flower can be nurtured. But that was not happened in Kenya, because after independence, the indirect control of British power remained in Kenya, and not only that, the elite people, they had been maintaining relation with the white colonizers, and for this reason, the ideals of making a ideal Canadian, ideal Kenyan city was faked, and for this reason, the title of this novel is like that, Petals of Black, and subsequent decline of this impulse. And we see colonialism and capitalism in this novel. And the Europeans used capitalism to continue economically colonizing and exploiting Kenya. So that is the idea of capitalism. And the novel illustrates Europe's capitalist exploitation of Kenya clearly through one of its major characters, Abdullah. So out of the four major characters, Abdullah was a Kenyan person, but through him, the British colonial power or the colonial power tried to exploit the Kenyan citizen after the independence. Kenya got independence in 1963. Still, through the characters like Abdullah, British colonial power tried to exploit this Kenyan people. That was capitalism and colonialism. And feminism is also a theme of this novel, Petals of the Blood. And that means after reading of this novel, we can understand that a woman can be a mother, a politician, socialist, educator, and provider of the family at the same time. So feminism, the position of women. We see the position of a woman in a traditional society that came, a woman will be a mother, sister, and will bringing his uh, children as her family activity. But in Petals of Blood, we have seen the main character Wanja, one of the major character Wanja, being a woman, how she became very important, not only in the perspectives of the family, as a mother, as a politician, as a socialist, as an educator. So a female can play a diversified role in terms of the most important role of a country and a society and the civilization. Through the political and social activities, uh, a female in Battles of the Blood can participate in the formation of a country through the political activities and through the social activities in the formation of the activities and through the educationist perspectives, a female can contribute towards the upbringing of civilization. So, Ngugi wa Thiong'o observed uh, female, not a female, but a person who can play diversified role for the necessity of the time that we have seen in this character Wanja. Women like Nia Nikunia and Wanja struggle hard against colonialism. So these two characters, they strongly desire to curb oppression and exploitation of Kenyan society. That is what, that means they become the shield to protect the Kenyan common people from the oppression and the exploitation. So that is what we have seen in Petals of Blood. And so these are the story in brief. That is, as a barmaid, Wanja suffers sexual harassment from elites and employers. Barmaid, especially in a bar, some person will be serving beer or wine to the clients. They are called barmaids. Okay? And barman and barmaid. So Wanja was a barmaid, and she observed that Wanja suffers sexually harassment from elites, clients, and employers. Later, she wants to have another child. She visits uh, Na Inua in Ilmorong, where she takes a job at Abdullah's store and begins an affair with Munira, hoping to get pregnant. Okay, so that is history of Anja and Munira. Munira is male, a school teacher. And what is the religious theme in Petals of Blood? Represent religion, either as a tool, hypocrites, uh, hypocrites use to get rich and oppress deluded believers, or as a delusion that prevents believers from taking effective action. So, in Petals of Blood, Ngugi wa Thiong'o present that religion is a tool through which the religious person or through which the religious person can be oppressed and through which a person can be prevented not to revolt. Okay, so that is the theme of religion in Petals of Blood. In Petals of Blood, the style is at times symbolist. It shows the repetitions of the phrases and images. There are repetitions of phrases such as millet power of God and Happy New Year. etc. And what is the new colonialism in the Petals of Blood? The Petals of Blood presents neo-colonialism by depicting the betrayal of the independence movement and the exploitation of the Africans of the Western capitalist steel. Okay. Uh, Still, neo-colonialism is not in Kenya was like that. Kenya got independence in 1963. But after the independence, the Western capitalists they tried to gain money. They tried to exploit the farmers of Africa or the Kenya. They tried to exploit. They tried to sell their commodity towards the Kenyan people for the monetary benefit, and all things are the indirect control towards Kenya by the British settlers, and that is called neo-colonialism as well. And the neo-colonialism established through the capitalistic mentality of the Western colonizers. So that was the things. And the Petals of Blood present neo-colonialism through the appropriation of a various spaces by hegemonic forces in Kenya. Hegemonic means domination. So domination of Western uh, people or Western capitalist power in Kenya is called the neo-colonialism in Kenya. And what is the Marxist theory in Petals of the Blood? Marxist theory, he encourages individuals to battle for themselves so that they can eat the fruits of their labor, and rather than sweating for others so that they might get wealthy. Okay, so Marxist theory will be involving in this novel Battles of the Blood as well. As we have observed that at the time of his higher studies, uh, Ngugi or Thiong'o was influenced by Marxism. So his Marxist view also presented in this. And always through the Marxist view, and Ngugi or Thiong'o, through this novel, Battles of the Blood, encouraged every individual that try to work for yourself. Don't try to work for others. And that attitude is can be explained the Marxist theory in Petals of Blood. And the flower is identified with those of Monida, and the school children discovered on their nature's ramble when he first went to teach in Edmond. So this is the symbolism in Petals of Blood. So in the Petals of Blood, there we have some theme. What are the themes? That is colonialism and capitalism, education, gender, sexuality and exploitation, religion, hypocrisy and illusion, land and nature. These are the themes in Petals of the Blood. Petals of Blood deals with the social and the economic problem in the East Africa after independence, particularly the continued exploitation of the peasants and the worker by foreign business trade interest and the greedy indigenous bourgeois. Okay, so this greedy engineer bourgeois and the Western interest, everything was had been dominating the Kenya. That was the purpose of writing this novel, Petals of Blood. And what is the disillusionment in this Petals of the Blood? The puzzling murder of the three African directors of a foreign-owned brewery sets the scene for this fervent, hard-hitting novel about disillusionment in independent Kenya. Okay, so these are the things what we have seen in this novel, Petals of the Blood. That is the initial and the introductory speech. That means Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Petals of the Blood, examines, among other things, the betrayal by the post-colonial regime of the ideals of this anti-colonial struggle and helped Kenya achieve its independence. The novel revolves around the three men and a woman. So this is in short the Petals of Blood in short. Okay, there are some characters in this novel. Monida, Wanja, Karega, Abdullah, Kemeria, Nidira, Riva, Chui, and Mijugo, some other characters. These are the main characters. So here there are some ideals of Christianity in these novels. Okay, and the title taken from the Derek Walker's poem, line of Derek Walker's poem, that is the swamp, that is Petals of Blood. Okay, so that is about the novel in brief.